Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for being with me today. You are now on video number 4, Journey of a Healed Success Stepper, part 4. So it's the full moon today, and I vibe my energy off of the cycle of the moon. And during a full moon phase, it's important for us to just cleanse ourselves, let some things go, get some things off of our chest, kind of, meditate and just stay in the know until you're able to balance the energy. So as I'm going through my criminal case, I am Dr. Shine. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I am the official Dr. Shine, and I am wanting to share with you today about the success journey as a success stepper. When I moved into my healing phases, I had to acknowledge my faults. I had to acknowledge what I had done wrong. And in acknowledgement, it is not about, taking the easy way out. Yeah, we could take the easy way out, but I guarantee you it's going to be the hardest route you'll ever take versus accepting accountability and moving into the area that moves you to become your better version, right? So when I say taking accountability, I was on bond waiting for the state of Ohio to figure out what they were going to do with me because I wanted to take my case to trial. I felt like, take it to trial because if I pled guilty, it would mean that I am pleading to the assumption that I've done whatever they said that I did in the criminal case, which was felonious assault with 4 counts. So that literally meant in the criminal justice system that I would never be able to work as a professional career woman. I never would be able to, unless I got my qualifying employment credit, which I did. I not really expunged, but I more or less as an entrepreneur created my own pathway into how I can alleviate the whole concept of the felony to still be able to live, because it's like kind of defeating the purpose. The criminal justice system defeats the purpose when you are caught up with a felony and then the next thing you know, you can't get a job. Well, what is that? That's that disproportionate minority confinement that I'm talking about. And when I say minority, at one point I was talking about the African American population, but now I'm talking about the moderate to low income individual. Okay, you can be black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, whatever. You can be whatever. So with that being said, it was like I had to go around and maneuver through in order to stay my entrepreneur, not have to worry about, the exams that come in the process of working in their system, having to put up with their tests and exams just because you're working in the system. I wanted to move myself into a better understanding of who I was while still motivating myself to heal. So I'm doing all this at a healing phase. While I'm on bond, I graduate, from college. I am still running my business. I am making, random, consistent visits to the courthouse, rain, sleet, snowfall, always going an hour ahead of time. So just in case there's an issue with the car or there's an issue with the babysitter or there's an issue with, well, thank God we had my youngest daughter with me during that process because she really did help. Homeschooling was very vital at that time because I could be able to use my time the way I wanted to use my time instead of having to work with kids at school. So homeschool was very, very important for me. it helped me get through the scenario of just the single parenting part. And I mean, the Most High really just, helped me balance my life. The Most High helped me to influence myself by just knowing that I was succeeding, persevering through all of these situations. And excuse the tree trimming. I think they're pruning a tree on the other street. But anyway, what I want you to understand is that while we're moving through success, we're going to have to step over a lot of obstacles. And you know that statement, fall on a crack, you break your mama's back. You will break your mama's back because she's going to be taking care of you left and right because you're the baby and you're going to have to be taken care of. And then you're going to feel this entitlement, oh, the pain. But the reality of it is that as we success step into our journey, we're going to have to make the decision. What will our story look like in the end? I was truly unable to answer that until right now. What I wanted it to look like, I really was so stuck in the idea that it really happened. And I said to myself, what? How do I look as a professional with a criminal background, with a degree, like all this stuff? And it's like, why me? Why me? But there was so many more real purpose behind it being me, until I'm so grateful, because now looking back, hindsight, it worked out profoundly great because I have a story to tell. I have a testimony. I have a purpose for living. My criminal case, literally, as I was going through it, gave me life again. It gave me the ability to say that although I'm here, let me turn this around because I want y'all to see this, that I'm not really, let me see. Oh, I can't do it. Okay, I can't turn it around because I'm on right now. But it don't matter. I want to be authentic. I want to be real. I want to be truthful. I want to be motivated. I want to be inspiring. I want to be inspired. I want to be, factual, actual. TLC, shout out to you. But, I just wanted to, go from fighting the power, public enemy, fight the power, to resigning from that low vibrational frequency into my elevation of who I am today. Because I am that one today that I've always really made the next conscious right decision as long as I was not under an influence of something. And grief can really, really distract you a little bit, right? Interject that with unknown substances, that's really going to take you out. But we make it through. We do survive. We are success steppers. We make our journey work for us. And the beautiful part is that God is making us stronger in the process by forcing us into a what are you going to do moment. What are you going to do now? Because you have to make a quick, fast decision and on a dime. That's why you have to be sober-minded. You have to be, driven by integrity. You have to be morally just, and your emotional balance must be healed. There must be other alternatives to addiction, like solutions, like success, like gratitude, like abundance, like thankfulness. And this is the best time. And it's any time you choose to want to start, because the further down you go, the more it is harder to come back. And that is my thought for today. I just want you to know that, I don't care about sharing my story. It's public knowledge anyway. You can Google it. State of Ohio versus Shine, who at that time became a doctor, did not put Dr. Dorina Shine on the docket. But yet, I know who I am. No one can take that from me. And it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I know. Like I was saying, for those who definitely need to know, I have the student loan records to prove it. They're not just going to give to the hundreds of thousands of dollars away if you're not doing your part. My GPA standards were 3.0, 3.8, 3.7. So all of that is detailed and documented, and the state of Ohio knows it. Okay? So my theory is, let nothing and no one prevent you from being who you say you are. If you are who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear, the camera's here. You know that song? I know I messed up the whole sound, but I have not heard that in really, really many years. But if you are who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear when the camera shows up. Go ahead and do you. Do what you got to do. That's why I was going to turn this dang on camera around, but I don't think I can do it if it's on record. So with that, I want to leave you with this journey of a success stepper, video number 4. 4 is about equality. 4 is about resonating with the balance. 4 is also the amount of time they gave me when they were saying 32 years. And, with that being said, it was a very scary time. I had children. I had, a house to provide for. I had a business to run. One great thing was that nothing took my business away from me. And that's God. That is not man, because man forgot to plug that into the equation, because, of course, they want to see, especially with the way that they interpret things and how the system is fair to some and unfair to others. I'm not saying that it wasn't unfair to me or that it was fair to me. I'm just saying I'm grateful that I succeeded it. I'm grateful that my mindset stayed committed to forward focused. I'm saying that I have the ability within me to recognize the game now, the awareness, something I never knew before going in. And let me tell you, being mindful of those people who are closest to you, that's another one of my biggest scenarios. A neighbor, be mindful. If your intuition is telling you that somebody is envious of you or jealous of you or dislike you, even when I would help pay bills for this lady, I would help take her son to work. And she was envious of whatever I was capable of doing, but yet I was helping her too. And then I feel like that was another indication and a sign that said that maybe she wasn't as jealous as I would think or envious as I would think. Maybe that was her only way of showing me how to get out of my grief, because an alcoholic can only show you what they know. And that's alcohol. When you go to an alcoholic for advice, the only thing he's going to tell you is, give me that bottle. That's all I need. You give me that bottle, I'm cool. I give you anything you want. I'll tell you anything. But the truth of a real genuine one that has succeeded through the processes of life, says this one thing. I'm not going to give of myself to another more than I give of myself to myself. See, that's what I was searching for. I was searching for the inner being of who I was. And it took her to show me real bluntly, you coming over here asking me to love on you, to help you, to get you out of the grief, because you're crying. You just lost your mom. You just lost certain people. Well, guess what? You're not the only one. So get over it. Wow. Talking about eye-opening awareness. And that is what the full moon energy is shifting with me today. It's shifting with me by telling me that regardless of what comes or goes in my life today, no one outside of me has the love any greater than I can give to myself on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. No alcoholic beverage can numb the pain. No, whatever, they put in that horrible, horrible thing that most people would never even, I wouldn't want that on my worst nightmare, to not know, or my worst enemy, to not know their name. But all of that is important because it brings us to this point right here, right now, where I'm surviving, I am successful, I am trusted, I am empowering, I am inspiring. I don't give a damn what someone else has to say about me. Just walk down the driveway in my shoes, and then we'll talk. Once you do that, then I'll give you the floor. But until then, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to be my aware self, and I ask you to do the same. And with that, we'll see you next time.